Want to install custom championship belts, character GFX, WrestleMania 42 arenas, and even custom ring announcers in WWE 2K26? In this tutorial, I'll show you step-by-step how to install everything using Tribute, Cakeview, and SoundFactory, including how to avoid the most common mistakes that cause mods to fail. Let's get started. Make sure you have the latest versions of Tribute and Cakeview installed, along with SoundFactory. This part is important. Using outdated versions can cause errors or missing files later in the process. You'll also need Wwise installed on your PC. If you haven't installed Wwise yet, don't worry. I already made a tutorial for that. You'll also need the following files. These files can be found inside the Tribute and PWM main download channels. And keep in mind, some downloads are only available through their Patreon. The AEW Championship and Kendal's GFX mod are the only free. I'll link it in the description. Big credit to the creators for these amazing mods. Before installing anything, let's organize our files. Trust me, this will save you a lot of confusion later. I usually create a folder for the character mod I'm working on. Inside that folder, I create two more folders.
Mike and Alicia,
since these are the ring announcers used in WWE 2K26. Then, I move the downloaded ring announcer and theme files into their proper folders. This simple step makes modding way easier and keeps your desktop from becoming a complete mess. Now pay close attention here. This is where many people accidentally break their install. Here's something really important when installing championship belts. If the folder contains MCD files, MTL files, Havoc folder, Textures folder, that means this is the folder you need to drag, not the top folder. This mistake is one of the biggest reasons why belts don't show up correctly in-game. Now head over to your Tribute 26 directory. Open the Bake Me folder. Then, open Belts. Drag your Championship Belt folder into this directory. For the AEW Championship, notice something important. If you open the folder and already see the required files inside, then you can drag the main folder directly. Now here's a common issue. Some belts, like this TBS Championship, may be missing a Havoc folder. No problem. Simply copy a Havoc folder from another championship belt that already has one. That usually fixes the issue. We're about to add the belt in-game now, and I'll also show you the exact naming method that prevents the dreaded error message. Open Tribute and click Add Belt. At the top, you'll see the available belt slots. For this example, I'll use slot 75 for the TBS Championship.
place this TBS render file inside this belt folder.
This next part is critical. You must rename your folder to match the slot number. So if you're using slot 75, the folder name should be 75. You also need to rename the MCD and MTL files to match. And now, the step most people mess up. Rename your render file using this exact format. The P in placeholder must be capitalized. Extremely important. If you don't name this correctly, Tribute will throw an error.
Quick note before we continue. If this WWE 2K26 guide helped you out, I recently set up a Ko-fi if you'd like to support the channel with a tip. It really helps since the channel isn't monetized yet, and it goes right back into making better tutorials and content for the community.
Now let's finish setting up the championship belt. Back in Tribute, fill out the belt information. For this example, we're installing the TBS Championship, which is a women's championship, so make sure to check the female championship box. For the championship name, Tribute recommends removing unnecessary words like championship in some fields. So for this example, I'll simply type AEW TBS.
If you already know the proper ring announcer ID, you can enter it here, but if you don't worry. For this tutorial, we'll use 81, which is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship ring announcement. We don't have custom GFX assigned to this championship, so we can leave these sections blank for now. Next, click this button and locate your championship belt folder. Once selected, click Create Belt Slot. If everything was done correctly, you should see a successful prompt appear at the bottom left of this screen. Repeat the same process for the AEW Championship. And there we go. Let's test it in-game. That looks awesome. Your championship belts should now be fully working in WWE 2K26. But we're not done yet. Next, I'll show you how to install custom character GFX, including titantrons, barricades, banners. Honestly, this part is surprisingly easy. Let's install the GFX mod. Start by opening your downloaded GFX zip file. For this example, we'll be using the Kendal Grey GFX mod by BIGSTUTTER. In your Tribute 26 main directory, create a new folder named BakeMe_GFX. Now, technically, this step isn't required. But trust me, if you install lots of mods, this saves a ton of time later. Inside BakeMe_GFX, create another folder named Movies. Then open it. Now create two folders, SS and Titantron. Inside the SS folder, create another folder named after the character. For this example, Kendal Grey. Now drag these 4 BK2 files inside this folder. And inside the Titantron folder, drag the Titantron video file. You can technically rename this file to anything, but to stay organized, I recommend naming it after the character. For example, Kendal Grey _Tron. Now go back to Tribute and click GFX Manager. Select Add Character GFX. Enter the character name again. Now this next button is your best friend. Click Auto Assign. This automatically assigns IDs for your Titantron, Apron, Banner, Barricade, which saves you a ton of time. Quick note before we continue. If this WWE 2K26 guide helped you out, I recently set up a Ko-fi if you'd like to support the channel with a tip. It really helps since the channel isn't monetized yet, and it goes right back into making better tutorials and content for the community.
Everything looks good. Click Add GFX. Then close the window. You should now see the character listed in the GFX Manager. And now, let's test it. Yo, look at that! It works! That already makes the character feel way more complete. Alright, now let's install something even cooler. WrestleMania 42. Open your downloaded WrestleMania 42 zip file. And if you see a README file, always read it. Seriously, a lot of arena creators include important setup instructions. For this arena, the README says we need to add entries into the SDB file. So let me show you exactly how to do that.
Hey, Future Z here. Quick pause before we continue with the arena installation. There's a really important update for Tribute 26 that you need to know about. Tribute version 1.1.4 is now required following the latest official WWE 2K26 game update. So if your arena mod suddenly stopped working, this is probably why. Especially if you're installing WrestleMania 42 or any custom arena. For the update process, if you're updating from an older Tribute version, you only need these files from the new download: tribute26.exe, ent vicconfig.dat, and lib-fonts-x64.dll. Simply drag and replace them inside your existing Tribute folder. And don't forget, you also need to replace the fresh arenadata.jsfb inside your bakeme/arena folder, then re-add your arena mods. And one more thing, make sure you've already completed the merge process mentioned in the Tribute Updates post. Alright, now that we're fully updated, let's continue with the WrestleMania 42 Arena install. Now go back to the WrestleMania 42 zip file. Open the Arena folder and drag the 4 files into the Arena Profiles folder inside your Tribute 26 directory. You'll also need to move the provided mod files into your WWE 2K26 mods folder. Open Cakeview, go to Tools, and select SDB Editor. And don't worry if this screen looks overwhelming. We're only using 3 things today: open SDB, add multiple strings, and save. And yes, if Cakeview says WWE 2K24 detected, don't panic. It sometimes does that. As long as your files are correct, you're fine. Click Open SDB and locate the SDB file inside your Bakeme Arrow SDB folder. Now click Add Multiple Strings. You'll see a new window appear. This is where you'll copy the IDs from the Arena Creator's README file. Enter them exactly as shown.
Once everything is added, click Save. Back in Tribute, click Add Arena. You should now see the WrestleMania 42 profiles. This part matters. The arena ID must match the ID you added earlier in the SDB. So if your README says 990,
Then enter 990 in the arena name hash field. If you don't do this step or somehow you forgot, the arenas you've added won't have names in-game.
once everything is set, click Add Arena Slot. Repeat the process for the remaining arena profiles.
Quick note before we continue. If this WWE 2K26 guide helped you out, I recently set up a Ko-fi if you'd like to support the channel with a tip. It really helps since the channel isn't monetized yet, and it goes right back into making better tutorials and content for the community.
Now head over to Arena Manager and click Load Arena Profiles. You should now see your installed arenas.
Now, head to Cakeview and rebake the data.
Bro, look at this. That looks insane. WrestleMania 42 Arena is officially in WWE 2K26.
All right. We've already installed championship belts, Character GFX, and WrestleMania 42. But now, we're getting into one of the coolest parts of WWE 2K26 modding, custom entrance themes, and custom ring announcers. So let's set it up properly. Start by opening the custom music and ring announcer zip file. Inside, you'll see the required folders. Simply drag these into your WWE 2K26 main directory. You'll also notice two XML files. These are important. We'll be using them for the custom database setup inside SoundFactory. Now open the SoundFactory zip file. Extract it anywhere on your desktop. You can rename it if you want. For example, SoundFactory v0.9.8 Plus. I like keeping things organized. It saves headaches later. Inside the SoundFactory folder, create a new folder named DB, short for database. Now move the two XML files inside this folder. Before we open SoundFactory, there's one more important setup step. You'll need the data control link file. If you downloaded the required files from the Tribute main download channel, you should already have this. Quick note before we continue. If this WWE 2K26 guide helped you out, I recently set up a Ko-fi if you'd like to support the channel with a tip. It really helps since the channel isn't monetized yet, and it goes right back into making better tutorials and content for the community. This file is important because it helps connect the custom audio database properly, especially for custom themes and ring announcements. Now let's set it up. Open the data control link zip file. If you already have a Kcook plugin installed, then you should only drag this file into the plugins folder. This step is really important. If your custom theme or ring announcer isn't working later, there's a good chance this setup was skipped. Alright, now let's jump into SoundFactory. Launch SoundFactory. You should now see the main interface. Click Settings. SoundFactory should automatically detect your Wwise installation, as well as supported Steam games. If everything looks good, you can close Settings. Now click Audio Converter. For this tutorial, we'll leave everything on the default settings. Locate the ring announcer and theme audio files you downloaded earlier. Then convert them into WEM files. Once conversion is finished, you can delete the original audio files if you want. Personally, I do this to avoid confusion, but it's completely optional. Now click Open PCK and select the Custom Ring Announcer PCK file. At first, you'll probably notice the IDs don't look correct. That's normal. We simply need to import the custom database. Click Import Database and select the DB folder we created earlier. Now reopen the Ring Announcer PCK file. And there we go. You should now see the proper custom IDs. For this tutorial, we'll use 50500. Right-click each line, select Replace Sound, and locate the converted WEM files. Repeat the process until everything is filled correctly. Now head back into Tribute, open Roster Manager, then select Roster List View. Load the character profile you want to edit. For this example, we're assigning a custom ring announcer. In the ring announcer field, enter 50500. Then click Save Slot. Now go back to SoundFactory, click Open PCK, and select the Custom Music PCK file. For this tutorial, we'll use 3000. Right-click the sound entry, choose Replace Sound, and select your converted theme WEM file. Go back to Tribute and click Add Theme. Enter the same theme ID, 3000. For the remaining fields, use the character name and the track name. Once done, you can now click Add Music Track. Now go to Edit Themes and click Load Music List. You should now see the added theme here. Now, rebake the data and launch the game.
Quick note, I won't be playing the full entrance music here due to copyright restrictions. I hope you understand.
Ring from parts unknown, Kendal Grey.
And there it is. Custom Championship, Custom GFX, Custom Arena, Custom Entrance Music, and even a custom ring announcer. That looks absolutely awesome. And that's it for today's WWE 2K26 modding tutorial. I genuinely hope this guide helped make your modding experience easier. If this tutorial helped you, subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you won't miss any WWE 2K26 modding tutorials, guides of my channel. And let me know in the comments what mod tutorial you want to see next. Thanks for watching, take care, and as always, happy modding!